Hi everyone, welcome to Tony Fox Tarot. Thanks for joining me today and great to have you with me. So we are looking at your crush today and we're going to psych into them in a way that helps us to see what they see through their eyes about you. How do they think and feel about you? What do they see of you? What are the dynamics between the two of you? What is underpinning this particular connection? And also, how do you think and feel about them? So we've got lots to get through, and if you would like to go down below before we start and hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon while you're there. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. Please like and share this video where you can. And if you are interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Now, before you on the screen, we've got 5 different cards, each with a different crystal. And the idea is to choose a card that resonates with you most clearly. So let your intuition guide you. If you feel drawn to more than one card, that's perfectly fine. But either way, the choice of card will be your reading. And just remember, this is a general reading. So take what resonates and leave behind anything that doesn't. We've got card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, and card 5. So to get you in the mood to make a choice of your card, a quick guided meditation, feet firmly on the ground and taking in a single nice deep breath. And as you release the breath, just letting go of any tension that holds within you. Clearing the mind and focusing in on the cards before you on the screen. Where is your intuition taking you? What resonates with you most strongly? Is it card 1, card 2, card 3, card 4, or card 5? So down below, there are 5 different timestamps representing each of the different cards. If you would like to go to the card that you chose, I'll see you in a moment. Hi everyone, welcome to card 1. This is your reading and today we're looking at what your crush is thinking about you. And so we've got the cards ready to go. We've got some cards here to start with at least. I'm really wondering whether this is somebody who you've known for a long time, possibly from your childhood even. Something very familiar about this person. I kind of feel like they've been around you in a way where they've been either a part of maybe your school days or somebody that you grew up with or at least maybe part of your community or friends of the family or something. There's just something very familiar with them. I kind of feel like there's a history here with this person. But they're really looking on at you at the moment, and I get a sense that something really challenging has happened for you in a way that has kind of brought everything to a halt, you know? You've been completely consumed by circumstances that have distracted you from being able to look at anything that is fun or intimate in terms of maybe a connection with somebody. So they're really worried about you. They can see that you're going through a really challenging time in a way where they want to reach out and support you. They know that this is really big for you and they really want to be there. But my feeling is that they can't quite get to you in a way where they can reach inside of you, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, and what I mean by that is you know, that there's a disconnect. You know, you're consumed by what's going on in a way where you're unable to just be present for a moment to really connect with this person. So I kind of feel like they're very worried about you. There's a lot of anxiety about where it's all going with you. I think they're worried that what's happened for you will be like almost like a deal breaker, that somehow this will end what's going on. And you know, this person really actually has a lot of feeling for you. I think that they've kind of started to fall a bit head over heels with you in a way where they really want this to move forward. And they're just really hoping that you're going to get through this very difficult time in a way where things will get back on track and that perhaps you will resolve your situation. This thing about childhood is really strong for me here. I kind of felt that this is somebody who really wanted to have children. I feel like they're really at a really important time in their life, wanting to sort of really get on board with the idea of having a family in the future. This is really important for this particular person, and I think they're at a real crossroads about that. And I think this is somebody who really wants to be with you in a way where I felt that children were actually a part of what they had envisioned for the future. This person's very supportive. This is a really supportive person. I kind of feel like this is somebody that you can turn to at a time of crisis. And in some ways, I kind of felt that you were at that point. And they really want you to reach out to them so that they can connect to you and actually show you that they not only are there for you, but that they can give you what you need to get through this really, really challenging time. I did feel that you were very, I wouldn't say confused. I think you've just got a lot of mixed feelings about what's going on. I feel like this is an important time for you. I feel that this is a time where you are very isolated, that you have withdrawn. I feel that you're very uncertain about where everything is going for the future in terms of, not just about the idea of a relationship, but I think whatever it is that's happened to you, it's kind of really rocked you. It's really unsettled you, and it's almost like you're reeling in a way. And I feel healing is really important here. I kind of feel like that your circumstances are kind of a bit heavy. I feel that there's a veil between you and everything else that's going on. So it's not just about this person not being able to reach into you. It's also about the fact that maybe other people can't give you what they want to give you to help you through this difficult time. But healing is really important for you. This is about you, and this is about what you need to give yourself so that you can get through this really difficult time. And the message that I'm getting through here is that you can do this. You have broad shoulders. This is a struggle for you. I feel like, you're really questioning whether you've got the energy, the staying power, the tenacity to be able to do this, but you can do it. You're actually a really strong person. You've got broad shoulders. You can take on much more than you think that you can. I think you're just, this is a difficult time where things aren't clear for you. And, you have to accept that at times, not everything is clear. Sometimes, things happen and they stir the pot and it kicks up a lot of dust and it really mixes up the way we feel about everything. And, there's no point in making decisions about something that you have no control over, but more importantly, there's no point in making decisions when you feel unclear. You need to feel clear to make a decision. But you are a really strong person, and you're being really tested at the moment. I can really feel you're very worn down, but you're going to pull through this, and you need to accept that this is a time to pull back, and that this is a time for you to heal. But this person is very worried about you. As I said before, they're very worried that you're going to, that this could be like an ending. This thing about love comes up so strongly for this person. They really care about you. They feel so sensitive to what's going on for you at this time. And I kind of felt that this is somebody who was actively, around you, in a way that was, reaching out maybe to other people, sort of networking into your community, networking into your friends, networking into family, maybe, just checking in every so often, asking how you are, what's going on, but they really want, the best possible outcome for you. but coming back to this idea of children, this was very strong for me. I kind of really felt that that there was this, either a really, like a strong childhood connection, strong family connection, but this person also, is really hoping to be with you in a very serious way. They really, there's a lot of gravity to what's going on, basically about how you're dealing with what's going on and whether you're going to be with them. But they also, they really want to have something quite big with you. This person loves you very much. They really do. I think they're very invested in you, and they really want, to have, like a strong future with you in terms of settling down. And, but coming back to you, and I really felt that, a part of where you're at this moment is that, there's a lot of grief for you. And I think that it's almost like you've lost your confidence in what's possible. And, I think you want to succeed, on one level, but another part of you just feels that you are really unsure about what's going on, and the impact of your circumstances. This has been big. It's a big time for you. So I felt that this person wanted to reach in, that they care about you, that they really love you, that they wanted to support you, that they wanted to be a backbone. They want this opportunity. This is almost like an opportunity for them. It's like they want to show you how much they really care. They want to show you what it is that they can really give to you. But I get a sense that you're not letting them in. And, I think, a part of what that is about your healing process, the fact that you have pulled back. This is a very isolated time for you. You need to get clear about what's going on, but they're there for you. They're not going. And the thing is, I don't feel like they're going anywhere. They're not going to give up on you. That's the one thing I do feel very, very clear about. This is somebody who is really looking to kind of, stay the distance and to be with you in different ways. I think they're trying to show their support and trying to actively engage with what's going on around you, maybe not directly with you, because there's a veil. There's something blocking you to kind of connect with this particular person. I think that you, as I said, you've got a lot of worries, you've got a lot of doubts about what's going on at the moment. I think you're wondering whether this is actually just a time for you to make a break. But, I just kind of feel like some healing needs to take place, that this is a time for you to withdraw, to get clear about what's going on. And, that you'll come to a place where you do feel clear about what the next step is. But know that this person is there for you, okay? Hope this reading has made some sense to you. And if it has, please feel free to leave some comments down below. And subscribe, tap on the bell icon. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. Plenty of information about me and what I do on that particular website, but also make sure you have a look at the other videos that I've posted and keep an eye out for those coming up on the horizon over the next few weeks. Take care. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome to card 2, and this is your reading. So this is all about what your crush is thinking around you and what's going on with you and them. And we've got some cards to start with here. We might pull a few more out as we go along, but essentially I'm ready to jump in, and I feel that this is somebody who is very upfront. It's kind of what you see is what you get, in as much as I just think this is a really straightforward person. They shoot straight from the hip. You know where you stand with them. Very masculine energy. This is gender neutral, but at the same time, the energy is very masculine. It's quite dominating in a way, but in a very nurturing way. This is somebody who wants to take you under their arm and look after you. This is somebody who opens doors for you. This is somebody who wants to make sure that you're seated first if you're sitting down at the table in a restaurant. So I think there's some quite traditional values there in terms of, maybe gender roles and how somebody should act around their partner. I felt that this was somebody who would be really at home in a man's world. You know, this is somebody who's socially clumsy, you know, so there's nothing kind of sensitive about them, you know, and I say that in the nicest possible way. I just think that they're not exactly in touch with with their feelings in a way that makes me believe that they're emotionally articulate. It's not to say that they're not emotionally intelligent. It's just that they're not very good at expressing themselves, and their sensitivity is clumsy, awkward. You know, they like doing kind of boysy things that are like chopping wood and fixing cars. That's the feeling I get. It doesn't have to be those things. It just kind of fits into that world of somebody who I really do feel that would actually be very comfortable around a campfire. And, you know, it's a bit hunter-gatherer for me. You know, it's that sort of, but at the same time, I get a really strong sexuality that comes through here. You know, so this could be a good-looking person, or at least a very sexually attractive person. You know, a really positive, good vibe there that makes me feel safe, secure. You know, and you know, there's a slight aggressive nature there, but but at the same time, it's very nurturing in a way where if you were with this person, you'd feel very safe, very secure. But they've been finding it very difficult to get personal time with you, is what I feel. It's like there's all of these hurdles that are in their way whenever they try to get near you, or whenever they try to get close to you. There just seems to be sort of obstacles that get put in their way. And I'm wondering if that's actually, well, how they see you is that maybe there are defenses like around you, and they're quite strong. You know, it's almost like when they're trying to be with you or trying to get near you, there seems to be people in the way, or things that are in the way, or circumstances that are in the way. There's always something in the way of them being able to get close to you and to have personal time with you. They definitely feel very serious about you. You know, like for me, they want, what they want to know is whether you're interested or not. They have no way of gauging that. They have no way of breaking through the barriers that are around you to get close to you. It's this thing about getting close to you. It's like they want to get close to you, but they can't get close. They have no idea how you feel about them. Absolutely no idea. And that makes them feel quite threatened, because they think that you don't want them to get close, that you don't want them to understand who it is that you really are, that you don't want them to know how it is that you really feel. And so they feel threatened. I feel threatened. I definitely get that from them. There's a sense that they feel they can't get your attention properly, so that there must be something wrong. And it causes them to worry and doubt what's going on in a way where they start to draw their own conclusions. So they get really stuck in their head about what's going on, become really analytical. They think, oh God, you're not interested in me. You don't want to be with me. Maybe you're not even thinking about me. You're more interested in all these other things that seem to be going on around you. And there's always something going on around you. If you're not busy with other people, you're busy with your work. If you're not busy with your work, you're busy with a whole lot of things that seem to be on your plate. You've always got something going on. Everything else seems to be a bit of a priority for you. There's always something else pressing, something else more important. And this seems to consume all of your time, all of your focus in a way where it blocks them out of the picture. I think the thing for me that kind of comes through really strongly here is that for them, they think that you think that other people are more important than they are, that other people are more demanding of your needs in a way where you have to prioritize them first, so that somehow they come all the way down the bottom of the ladder. But what I do get, pulling this one here, thinking about you all of the time. Oh, gosh, you know, like it's that thing of treat them mean and keep them keen. That's what I'm getting here. It's like treat them mean, keep them keen. If you treat them a little bit mean, you don't give them quite exactly what it is that they want, they'll come back for more. I wonder if that's a little bit of maybe what's going on here. You're like a bit of a power imbalance, a bit of a power dynamic between the two of you. Maybe you feel the slightly dominating, ambitious, almost aggressive nature of this person who wants to look after you in a way where you might feel out of balance. Maybe that feels like it's infringing on you a little bit. Maybe you have some concerns as to what is possible here around that. But they've been trying to get your attention. I think this is the thing for me, is they've been trying to get your attention. I think they've actually thrown quite a lot in your way in terms of trying to get your attention. They've been quite persistent, actually. I don't think they backed off. I wonder if you're also interpreting that as being a bit too pushy. Maybe that they're being too full on. But at the end of the day, all they are is really motivated. They just want to strike something up because they feel really strongly about you. And they want to know how you really feel. I think this is where, you know, in their mind, gosh, this person is pretty keen on you. I'm wondering whether there's actually been enough connection here for you to actually sufficiently have evolved some feelings. This person is pretty head over heels with you. They certainly want to take it to the next level. You know, King of Cups, you know, whew, King of Hearts. I mean, this person, you know, the heart's pounding, you know. They're not able to, the problem is they're not expressive, you know, they're not emotionally articulate, so they have a lot of trouble actually saying what they mean, how they feel. They're quite a strong silent type. But this is a person who will actually show you in different ways. Like, some people will say, oh, look, I really love you. I want to be with you. You're the most important thing in the world to me. This is somebody who will actually act it out, right? They won't say it, but they'll show you how much they care by bringing you flowers, you know, opening the door for you. Again, a quite traditional, maybe a little bit conservative, but really heartfelt in a very, I want to say gentleman, but I want to keep it gender neutral at the same time. It's that kind of, you know, just really good manners, you know. For them, though, it's come to a point where they just want to get to the truth. What's going on? Seek the truth. I want to know. I want to know what's going on between us. Where do we both stand? Come to the edge. Come to the edge to me. Come over here and just please, just be upfront. Tell me how it is that you really feel. Do you want to go forward with this, or do you want to go back? Or do you just want to call it off? Because I'm really keen to give this a go. I want to spark it up. I want to take it to the next level. I really know how I feel about you. But at the same time, I'm really quite frightened that you're going to cut me off. They're saying, look, let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. They're so keen. They're you know, they're very fiery energy, really quite, I can see this is quite pushy, but it's coming from a good place, coming from a caring place, coming from a nurturing place. They want to look after you. They want to show you that they mean business in a really positive way. This is somebody who's quite serious. They want to take it to that next level. They want to get some answers. They're very motivated to strike it up, but they really they're quite convinced at this particular point that you're putting up a lot of defenses around you because you're not really interested, or because you have doubts about where this is really going. And maybe in some parts that is actually true. But at the same time, I think you actually really like this person as well. Yeah, definitely. You're definitely very keen with this person. I think the treat them mean, keep them keen motto is actually one that you are working with at this point in time. But I would be very careful, because if you treat them too mean, yeah, you'll push them over the edge. Okay, and they'll start to think that something's wrong. They'll lose trust in you. That's what will happen. They'll begin to doubt it to a point where they begin to feel that this is spiraling out of control, and that you're not showing any signs that give them confidence that, you know, perhaps you're coming from the right place. So I think, you know, there's a fine line here. I think it's time to move this forward in a way that actually speaks about truth. And that's what this is all about. This person wants you to come to the edge, wants you to drop all of these defenses, wants you to show them the truth about where you want this to go next. I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, please feel free to leave some comments down below, and hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon, and like and share this video where you can. www.tonyfoxtarot.com. You can go and find out more about me there. And lots of videos already posted to my YouTube channel, so feel free to browse those and keep an eye out for those that are coming up on the horizon. Take care. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to card 3. This is your reading, and today we're looking at your crush and we're trying to figure out what's going on in terms of what they're thinking about you and what's going on between the both of you. We've got some cards here to start with, and so let's jump straight in and see what's going on. I feel straight away, I feel there's been some kind of a angry scenario where there's been like an irreconcilable dispute between the two of you. I feel like there's been a big fallout actually, and that this has become quite heated in a way where everybody has walked away feeling really hurt. I feel like it's actually gotten quite nasty. And I think there's been a lot of things that have been said that has left everybody reeling in a way where nobody really knows where anybody stands. There's just a lot of bad feeling in the air. It's created a really toxic atmosphere in a way where everybody just feels so cold and prickly and just very hurt. And there's a sense of vulnerability about what it is that's happened. It's like things just got a bit out of control, and I think everybody ended up saying things that they shouldn't have said and that they didn't really mean either. It's almost like, I'm hurt, I want to hurt you, and if you're going to say that, I'm going to say something even worse. I want you to feel pain. It's been very pointed. And I don't think that that's just been one side. I just think that the two of you have been caught up in a moment of just very, very sort of passionate, heated, angry sort of, circumstances that have gotten really, the thing is, it's gotten really serious, And so I kind of do feel that has been, a difficult thing. And that's left the both of you really worried about what's going on in terms of what's been said. But more importantly, where's it all going? Is there a chance for the future in terms of getting clear and moving towards outcomes that actually are really promising, in terms of what the potential was between the two of us? And I feel there's a sense that they have tried to kind of, made attempts to heal the rift between the both of you. It's like they've put their best foot forward in a way where they've tried to kind of, sort of, bring back some balance at an emotional level. I think they've tried to appeal to you in a way where they can connect back in. And sort of feel and sense what's going on for you. But for them, they feel like, it's like, it doesn't matter what they've tried to do, that you've actually just been really dissatisfied with everything that they've had to say. I think they've tried, for me, I kind of feel that they've attempted to make an apology. But because this has been really full on, and, because a lot of things have been said, there's no right time to really approach this in a way where you find reconciliation. It's almost like, there's an imbalance all of a sudden. It's like everything has been misinterpreted. Now when that person says, I'm sorry, it's like, well, do you trust them? Do you believe them? And also, I'm still feeling really upset. Like at the end of the day, you said such horrible things to me, and I don't know if I can forgive you. And then they recoil, and it's like, like I've just tried to say, to make up, and I've tried repeatedly to do this, but it doesn't seem like I can satisfy you. It looks like you're digging your heels in. You want to make this kind of go on. You want to drag this out. And so they feel that you're really unhappy with their efforts, and that no matter what they try to do, that you're not going to forgive them. That's how they feel. And really deep down what they want is they just want a new beginning. They just kind of like, they just want to kind of feel emotionally connected to you again in a way that, but they're not sure what they're supposed to do. You know, there's now there's this kind of like heartache hanging around. You know, everybody's kind of going, oh gosh, you know, like this is a really dark cloud, and it's like I don't know where I stand. I don't know what my responsibilities are to kind of put things back into order. And you know, I've tried to make these efforts, but everything just seems out of balance, and you know, nobody's happy, and you know, everybody is kind of, you know, all the worse for it. The thing is that this is a person who can actually be quite black and white. Okay, I get a sense that this is somebody who's very rational. You know, they're very cerebral. You know, they really think it through. They do know how to slice through the distractions. They know how to slice through the confusion. They know how to get to the point, but sometimes they can just be almost like a little bit lacking in sympathy, you know, lacking in empathy, lacking in compassion, you know. But it's not because they don't have that. It's just that they're in such a hurry to get to an outcome where things are actually resolved. They just want to move through this really quickly because they're not very good at dealing with pain. They're actually not very good at dealing with their emotions. And they tend to stick by the book. You know, they're looking at this from a kind of fair and, I guess, you know, like, what am I looking to say here? Like, you know, like a fair and just perspective. You know, justice. It's all about fair and just judgments, really, to kind of get an outcome that resolves the situation, which slices through things in a way where you know, you get to the facts about what's going on. But you know, arguments aren't all about the facts. It's also about the feelings. You know, it's not just what was said, it was the way it was also said. And the thing is, I don't think that anybody is actually to blame here. I really don't feel that. I think that the thing is that arguments happen. Sometimes things do go out of balance, and we say things that we shouldn't have. You know, sometimes we get really competitive, and sometimes, you know, we just don't want to address what's really going on in a way where we have to look back and dig it all up. You know, the better way to do is the better way to deal with it, you know, in terms of our self-preservation, is just to, you know, put our head in the sand, or maybe look at it another time, or, you know, and maybe also what is needed here is some more healing. I do feel that. I kind of feel that there's some more healing that needs to take place. Excuse me. So this person's feeling very isolated, very alone. They're feeling, and they want home. You know, this is the thing. They want to reconnect with you. They want things to get back on track. This is somebody who is steadfast. You know, this is someone who has the right intentions, who really has a strong sense of you know, connection in terms of what a relationship is supposed to be about. For me, this is somebody who really lacks the ability to navigate the emotional dimensions of what a relationship is all about, but has different strengths. You know, and I think the thing for you is that you actually are much stronger at an emotional level. I think you are, and I think you're just, at the moment, you're owning your dissatisfaction. You're owning the fact that you are really unhappy about what it is that has happened. And you, at this point in time, you can't take an apology and you can't reconcile differences because you're feeling really, things are just out of balance. And you know, at the end of the day, I think you're okay with that. But this person really wants things to be back in order, you know, because they go by the book and they feel so isolated and alone. This is quite a lonely person as well. You know, I kind of feel that, you know, it's just really important for them to reconnect with you in a way where they feel that it's heading in the right direction. So at the moment, you know, they feel really out in the cold. You know, there's a lot of contemplation about what it is that they should do next, and they've got a lot of mixed feelings as a consequence. So they kind of feel like they're in the sin bin. They feel like you're the one that's dug your heels in. They don't feel like they have control. And a part of them is thinking, what do I do next? Because for them, if they can't kind of find that balance where they reconnect with you, I think, you know, for them, it's sort of like taking more drastic action, you know, because everybody hurts me and they get angry. Everybody hurts me. and they become really defensive. You know, this is no fun anymore. So the best way for me to deal with this is just to kind of take action. And that action is to cut this out of the picture. It's almost like very clinical. It's like, you know, surgery. It's like, okay, this doesn't work anymore. I'm going to cut that piece off. That's drastic, you know, it's desperate. And I think the thing is that deep down, wow, they think that you're really amazing. Yeah. They think that you're really amazing. They're very inspired by you as a person. You know, you actually bring a lot of balance to them as a person. So cutting you out of the picture will make them feel even more isolated, even more alone. I think up until this particular point that they felt really things were really moving in an amazing direction that was really promising in terms of what they wanted, you know, that they could draw on, you know, I keep on coming over here to buy the book. There is so much meaning in this card in terms of, you know, evolving as a connection in a relationship, but also one towards like family. I think for them, you know, you feel like family to them. They really miss you. This person really, really misses you. But the one thing that I think is going on here, it's going to draw us a final one of these. More fun is needed. It's all become too serious. Everybody's kind of lost their bearings. Everybody's feeling isolated. Everybody's feeling out of balance. Some really toxic, negative things were said. But at the end of the day, I think just, you know, balance needs to be brought back into this situation in a way where everybody gets over their anger. Everybody stops feeling so defensive. And, you know, that everybody finds their truth in terms of how it is that they really feel. Okay? My sense is that a big part of that is weighted towards you in terms of how you will bring balance back to this particular situation. I think once you're back in balance and you're ready to receive this person at a heartfelt level, you know, the potential for things to open up will be quite immediate. So for me, you know, it's really important just to be truthful in terms of, here we go, loyal heart. You know, it's really coming from the heart. And I think that you're the torchbearer here. You're the one that has the answer to be able to bring this back into balance. Coming from your heart, you know, that will open things back up in a way where you can reconnect with this person and get things back on track. But they're very motivated by you. They really want to be with you and they're feeling very hurt. They are definitely very sorry, okay? But they're just not well-versed at an emotional level. Their intelligence on an emotional level is not quite where you're at. And they're finding this very, very, very difficult to navigate. But I don't feel that anybody is to blame here. I hope this reading has made some sense to you. And if it has, please feel free to leave some comments down below. Like and share this video where you can. Subscribe, tap on the bell icon. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. And on a final note, I release videos each and every week to YouTube, so feel free to browse the ones that are already posted and keep an eye out for those that are up and coming. Thanks. Take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card 4, and this is your reading. So this is all about what your crush is thinking of you in terms of how they view you. And I'm getting a sense here that in this particular situation that this person's actually watched on for a really long time. And I feel like they've watched on at a distance in a way where they've been observing you in another relationship, perhaps. I feel like you've come from another relationship, a relationship that wasn't going well at all. I feel like there was quite a lot of suffering in that relationship. Perhaps this is a relationship that had a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges, a lot of restrictions. But there's definitely a sense that you were with somebody who you were very close to. But there were a lot of troubles that just never really figured themselves out in a way where there was a full resolution. You know, it was, you know, one step forward, two steps back, so to speak. And my sense is that in the end that you've left this relationship. But while you were in that relationship, this crush has kept a really cool distance. I can't help but feel maybe they were a friend or a friend of your previous partner, or maybe within your social network or wider social network. But there was a feeling that they couldn't interfere with your process, with your circumstances, that it wasn't their place to make it known how they felt about you, but they felt this way about you for a really long time, that they really liked you. And you've been totally absorbed by your previous circumstances in a way where I don't think you've actually seen them or clocked them in a way where you've figured out that this person actually really likes you. So I feel like they've kept a very respectful distance, and I can see, I pulled here, let me go. I kind of feel that this previous connection, it was all about you maybe wanting to move on, you wanting to get out, and for that person perhaps to let you go. So the timing hasn't been right. And I've also got healing here. I think like you've been in a situation that's actually caused you, like a lot of heartache actually. I feel like this has been a very pressured situation, a situation that's caused quite a lot of suffering, and as a consequence has actually also left you with some healing to do. So, interesting kind of start point, but I felt they've always felt really interested in you, but they didn't know whether you were interested in them, because I don't think that they got a sense that you've sort of seen them. But now everything seems to have changed for you. Your circumstances have completely changed. I kind of feel like you've moved on from this previous connection. I wonder whether there was actually children in the picture here. I wonder whether there was a child or children. Maybe that you've moved on from a previous relationship. Maybe you have children. Not for everyone. It doesn't mean we all have to have these circumstances. But I did pick up that maybe for some of you that there was a child in the picture, and that maybe at the moment that's actually a really central focus for you. But nonetheless, I think for you it's really about moving forward in your life. It's about setting up the next phase of where things are going. It's all about a new life. New life. Here we are down here, new life. So everything kind of feels fresh and new and invigorated. There's this enormous sense of potential in terms of where you're going, what you're doing. And as a consequence, I think your energies become really lighthearted, very creative, and you're just not taking it on at the moment. Like it's all water off of a duck's back. You're out for a good time, having a lot of fun. I get a sense that you're being very social. I feel like you're somebody who's very much the center of attention. There's a lot of people that are gravitating towards you at this time. There's this really beautiful sense of positivity in terms of your character. I think that's because you've come out from, like a really difficult set of circumstances, and you've just kind of like sliced away from it. It's like, no, you know what? I'm out of there, moving on. I'm going to throw myself out into the mix, and I'm going to put myself into the crowd and have some fun. So maybe a little bit of partying, maybe I kind of get a sense, maybe dancing, having a good time under the spotlight. I kind of feel like you're the center of attention. But I kind of feel like this is good times for you. This is good, fun, positive times. You're out there, you're being noticed, everything's very light-hearted. All of this pain and suffering that you're actually experiencing from this previous relationship, that's all gone. You've let go of it. The heartache that you experienced, that's diminished. And what you're holding at the moment is really just a great sense of potential as to where life can go. I think you're just riding a wave. You're on the crest of a wave. So that's how this person really sees you. Is like, you're really, you've kind of gone from one set of circumstances to another. And I think at the same time, I feel that this person feels that you are just as unattainable as you were previously, that you don't really see them, that you're not clocking that they really like you. Before maybe it was about a previous relationship or a set of circumstances that completely consumed you. Now, it's all about setting up a new life, having fun, being the center of attention in a different way. Like you're absorbed by destiny and fate pulling you into the spotlight, and so people. People want to have some fun, and they want you to be a part of what that means. Yeah. They want you along for the ride because you're actually a really good fun person. You know what I mean? Like you actually are. You have this vitality, this creativity, this sense of. There's an entertainment value in you. You know how to capture an audience. You know how to play to the audience. You know how to give them what they want. I think you're quite hypnotic like that. I think there is this. I think you can figure out the pulse of what's going on, and you can read it very well. So you can walk into a room and you can read it, and you know how to play to it. But this thing about a child was definitely, for me, for some of you, was definitely in the picture. And so this person feels that you're not really serious about a relationship at the moment. The idea of settling down with somebody is just not, it's not in your field of vision. That you're about having a good time, that you're about riding this wave of fun, that you're about going out and being in the mix. And it doesn't change the fact that they still really like you. They've got a burning, passionate desire for you. Yeah. I've pulled this other card here. Sorry, this other note here. I fantasize about you. They've had their eye on you for such a long time. They've been watching on, and they've been observing, and they've been quietly thinking about you, wanting to be near you, wanting to be close to you, but knowing they haven't had the right circumstances to make that known. The circumstances haven't availed themselves to you, to them, in a way that has been conducive for them to connect with you and to kind of like explore the potential of where this could go. So I kind of feel that this person's on the scene. They've always been in the distance, watching on, that you're now available. Perhaps you can see them, but they just don't feel that it's the right time, or that they are in the right place to be able to kind of, to link into you in a way where they can make something out of it. This is a quiet achiever. This is a really unassuming type. This is sort of quite the opposite to you in many ways. This is somebody who sits behind the line and watches on, kind of, I wouldn't say in a dark corner. It's like they're out in the mix as well, but they don't have quite the same confidence as you. They're happy. They're happy just to do their thing. To kind of go at their own pace. A real quiet achiever type is what I'm picking up here. But they're busting to explore an opportunity with you. They really want to go there. They've never experienced love before. They've never found that fulfillment of like a heart-to-heart relationship that really connects in on a fulfilling way. So I kind of feel that they've really missed out on that level. But they definitely take you very seriously. They have an enormous burning desire to be with you, but they just kind of figure like you're really out there in a way where you're having fun, and I think what they don't want to do is to dampen that, because they also know that you've had a really challenging time, and so they don't want to weigh you down in a way where it becomes too concrete, too solid. They want to give you some space to establish yourself so that you can kind of get your life up and running. This is definitely somebody who wants to be with you. I want more with you. I kind of feel they really want to get to know you more. They want to have more with you. They want to explore what it's all about with you. And I feel that this is somebody who would go at a quiet pace as well. I don't think this is not somebody pushy, not somebody trying to take something from you. It's, really it's just about trying to understand who you are, what it's all about, and where it could all go. So very interesting, I kind of feel that you are in a really positive place at the moment. I feel that things are starting to fall into place for you in a way where your life is kind of like hitting the ground running in a really refreshing way that gives you an enormous amount of fulfillment. This is a person who would really like to settle down and actually have a family, or to be in a family situation, and they're really prepared to put in the groundwork to make that happen. And I'll be honest with you, I feel that this is a person who feels that you are almost like a missing piece to their puzzle. It's like they've had a lot of experiences in relationships, but they've never had the fulfillment that they've really been looking for. And when they see you, they feel that this is something that really resonates for them, that you're the life of it's almost like you're this spark or this light, the life of something that's been missing for them. And they've been very patient about the whole thing. Yeah, so this person has, definite heartfelt feelings towards you in a way where they just don't feel that there is a potential for it to move anywhere at this particular time. So they've been very reserved, waiting behind. This thing about waiting behind the line, quiet achiever, taking the back seat, watching on, and never really participating. I think the thing is they've never really participated in a connection with you. Everything's always been at a distance. You need to give them a sign. If this person is really in your line of vision in a way where you want to explore the potential of what it is that they have to offer, you'll have to put your hand out. You'll have to make it more obvious. You'll have to give it an opportunity to really to sort of expand on its potential in a way where you make it more obvious. Because I don't think that they're going to sort of try much more than they possibly already have, in a way, because they're so respectful of you and your circumstances. It's quite beautiful in that way, And I think, considering how passionate they feel about you and where they would like it to go, I think it's very respectful, and it's kind of like chivalry in a way, like it's just, allowing you to be the person that you need to be without being in your face and suffocating you once again. Yeah. They've seen you suffer, and now they want you to rise up, and they want you to be the real person that you are. So, they see a lot of amazing things in you, and I think if you want it to move forward, then it's time to reach out. Hope this reading has made some sense to you. If it has, please feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. And hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about me and what it is that I do and how it is that you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. And just remember, I release videos each and every week to YouTube, so feel free to browse the ones that are already there and keep an eye out for those that are up and coming. Take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card 5, and this is your reading. So we're looking at your crush and how does it they see you at this time. We've got some cards here on the table and we're ready to kick off with what we've got here. I felt as though you were at a really important time in your life where you were sort of very focused on some serious things. I wonder whether that was study for some of you. Study kind of feels like a real feature here, or some kind of learning. It's almost like you're immersed in the idea of academic study or some kind of scholarly work. That could be night school. It could be some course that complements the work that you're doing. It could be going to university. But I felt that was a really important aspect of what I'm seeing here. It's as though you're really committed and very preoccupied with it. We've got this wonderful card here. Why? It's like you're asking all the questions that need to be asked in order to learn. There's this sense of elevating through your experience of pursuing some kind of avenue that leads you into learning about something. It could be learning on the job. But I get a feeling that you're very, quite practical in some ways. I think you do like to, dig your nose into a book and absorb yourself into facts and figures in a way that really give you a greater understanding as to how things work. But there's a real sense that you have academic excellence, that you're very good in a learning environment, and that you were around an opportunity that was about to elevate you in some way that would not only give you a lot of learning, but perhaps actually elevate you from a financial perspective. So if you're working in a job and there's some kind of learning that goes along with that, perhaps that actually sort of, gives you a leg up in some sort of a way where you move up the ladder. But this person is certainly looking on in a way where they're trying to get your attention. And I get a sense that they're at a real distance, that there is there's not an opportunity for them to really reach out to you in a way where they can be really obvious about what they're doing. And perhaps that's because I feel this is a fresh connection. I'm not so sure that this is a solid connection in a way where you have perhaps a solid rapport or an established rapport that gives you the opportunity to really kind of thrash things out, talk things through. So I kind of feel like there's a veiled distance here, that this person is looking on and observing you. And I feel that they're being really flirtatious, actually. This is somebody who is really playful. I get a really fresh, young energy here, just in terms of the heart. It's like, they're kind of putting it out there in a way where they're trying to sort of see if something comes back from you. But, this is somebody who is, who has time. They've kind of got the freedom to be able to explore what it might mean to have, a bit of a flirtation or a relationship with somebody. I don't feel like they've got so much on their plate, whereas I feel like you have. I feel like you've got a lot going on. And so they're feeling really fond of you in a way where they've looked on, they can see who it is that you are. So this could be somebody in the workplace. If you're studying, maybe it's somebody who's actually where you are studying. It could also be social. It could be a friend. But there's definitely a sense that this is somebody who is trying to get your attention, and but they're getting really vague responses back. They're not really sure whether you're clear about what their attempts are to flirt with you. And when you kind of come back to them, it's like, they need something a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more obvious. They definitely get a sense that you are very committed to what you're doing at the moment, and that you are very preoccupied with this idea of working very, very hard towards a goal. Whether that's study or whether that's work related, that you're really committed to what it is that you're doing, and that you don't have the time to really take yourself away from that in a way where you can perhaps respond to them on the same level. And this idea of balance, because there is I get a feeling that the both of you are on really different pages. For you, I feel like you're pursuing something that is really taking away your focus in a very kind of either academic or just very intellectual way. You're very absorbed, very committed to what it is that you're doing. I feel like you've got a lot of demands in terms of what you're doing with your work. You're really trying to establish something very big. I kind of feel like you're trying to elevate yourself up. And my sense is that, it requires a lot of alone time where you need to be isolated in order to focus this, because there's something that you want to unfold in a way that really gives you this, enormous potential in terms of an outcome. And that, for me, that's on many different levels in terms of, money, finance, recognition from perhaps the workplace or the community or society. And also, I think you're really aspirational. I think you're really working very hard towards, because these are all pentacles. So I kind of feel like you're working very hard towards, establishing finances and security. And, you really want to kind of like unfold your greatest potential in terms of what is it you're really capable of doing. And I think for this person, I think they feel a little bit out of their depth with you, to be fair. This is somebody who's actually very artistic, very creative and free-flowing, a highly intuitive individual. The things that turn them on in terms of sort of pursuits, there's some very creative endeavors that could be quite artistic, or maybe even, you know, entertainment. Like I feel like this is a bit of a performer. This person actually has that kind of youthful vitality, you know, that really is about connecting with people. They're very good with people, and they know how to read an audience in a way where they can play to it and really, you know, get people to respond to their energy, essentially. So they have like quite a hypnotic effect on people, and so I think they're very good, you know, in terms of their instinctual ability to be able to sort of, you know, really intuitively tap into what's going on. And, you know, if it's not an audience, you know, in a kind of more formal setting in terms of something that's about the arts or entertainment, it's certainly an audience in terms of friends, or, you know, walking into maybe a pub or a nightclub or somewhere there where there's a lot of people, and they just know what's going on. They kind of sense it, feel it, and they kind of get that pulse. So there's definitely a sense that this is somebody who is very hopeful of trying to get your attention in a way where perhaps you have the time to respond to them on the same kind of level, you know. So this is somebody who wants to be playful. This is somebody who wants to have some fun. And I've got some notes here that I've kind of pulled out, and I did pull this. More fun needed. You know, this is somebody who is getting a sense that, you know, things are a bit dry for you, and that you are really preoccupied with what you're doing, and everything's very serious in a way. You know what I mean? And also, the other thing I got here was emotionally unavailable. I think they think that you are possibly able to have a moment with them, or to engage with them in a way where you could sort of, you know, explore what's going on. But I think that they think that you're emotionally unavailable, that you're, because you've got very strong boundaries, actually. This is the thing that I'm picking up for you, is that you have very solid boundaries. You know, you make your mind up to do something, and there's no stopping you. You're like really committed to whatever it is that you decide to act on, in a way where, you know, you have steadfastness, and that requires a lot of strong boundaries in order for you to really follow through. And I think that your ideals or your aspirations, you know, they're quite grand, actually. You know, I think you want to make something big out of yourself. You want to get some really great results in terms of establishing what it is that you're capable of doing in a way that really rewards you. Okay, so for me, this person feels that perhaps you're maybe a beyond them, above and beyond them, not just from an academic point of view, but more or less from, you know, like your commitments are taking you elsewhere. They can see that you're a really talented person, and they think that you're going places. They think that you have, I think that this is somebody who is almost like, you know, the opposite to who it is that you are. And of course, opposites do attract. You know, this is somebody who is highly intuitive, instinctual, but they're very playful, and they're quite daydreamy as well. You know, like, I think this is the thing. This is somebody who's got a bit of time to pass. You know, they're not taking life too seriously. And I don't think that this is somebody who wants to necessarily take life seriously at the moment. I think they're quite happy just to organically explore what's going on in their world in a way where they feel actually they're quite fulfilled, whereas you're on a different page. For them, they're saying, look, let's run away. You know, like, let's run away. Let's get to know each other. You know, if you have a bit of a rapport where it's kind of established enough to be able to do that, this is what they're trying to say is that you need more balance. They can see that you're preoccupied with some serious stuff, but they want to have some playtime. They want to have some fun with you. They want to get to know you in a way where they see what you're like from a different perspective, a different side of you. They want they want to get some balance of understanding as to who it is that you are. They really like you, but all they're seeing is the serious side of you, the very committed side of you that's pursuing either academics or study or some kind of work-related sort of focus that's really very serious in terms of establishing, you know, results. So for me, this is somebody who wants to pull you away from that. They want to distract you. They want to have some fun, and essentially, they want to, you know, they want to get to know you. They want to push past, you know, the mystery of who it is that you are. Yeah, because at the moment they're only seeing one side. They're definitely attracted to you. They think you're really intelligent. They admire your steadfastness. They see that you're something that they're not. And I think that that influence to them is really very positive in a way where they want to kind of absorb that. Because that's not something that they're familiar with, you know. So that is really attractive to them. They see this really capable person who is going places, who is working towards really solid goals and getting outcomes. Whereas they're kind of, you know, this is somebody who's a little bit more bohemian for me. You know, I kind of like, this is a free spirit. Yeah. So the two of you are very different. But I think that there is a lot here that you can actually give each other in terms of complementing each other through an experience of finding some balance and understanding who it is that each other is. Why? It's not just about your study, it's also about understanding what's going on with that other person and how they reflect to you and how that's relevant to you in your world. There's a definite spark here and it's worth exploring. So I hope this reading has made some sense to you, and if it has, please feel free to leave some comments down below. If you would like to subscribe, do so. Hit the bell icon, that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. If you'd like to go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com, there's plenty of information about me and who it is that I am and what it is that I do. And finally, I release videos each and every week to YouTube, so feel free to browse the ones that have already been posted and keep an eye out for those that are up and coming. Take care and thank you.